I just love weird stuff. And that's exactly why Twin Peaks is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Alrighty then, what's happening, Super Swim Team? So I know I've never really done a channel update video before, so I figured the start of the year would be a good time to address the state of the swim team.
It's April, dude. Over a quarter of the year is almost over.
Can you just chill? I wrote this back in January. Now we've got a few objectives to go over, so here's a table of contents, and here's a monster for you. Skip ahead if you gotta, but try to stick around till the end, because it actually really helps out, and I'll explain why later. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm dropping the price on the swim team stickers, so if you want to check those out, there's a link in the description. So let's go ahead and get started with some questions. We'll do half now, and I'll do half at the end of the video. Will you ever review those Disney XD Marvel shows like Ultimate Spider-Man and that Avengers show that you said you would? Now, I'm thinking about it, and the compromise I came to was that I was going to make videos on the Marvel's 90s animated cartoons instead, because they're actually good. So you can expect videos on Silver Surfer and Hulk sooner than later. But maybe I'll do a video on the shitty, awful Loa there of cartoons one day. We'll see. I'm definitely still thinking about it. Where did the idea for your costume come from? Kind of merging the idea of a faceless avatar YouTuber like Nightmine with other YouTubers' characters like Pink Guy or Arlo the Puppet. The original idea was a green costumed character with an orange life preserver, swimming goggles, and a purple cape. But I realized the green costume would be frustrating with green screens, so I changed the color to blue, added the face mask and a shirt, changed the swimming trunks to shorts, and that was all she wrote. What adult swim show do you think deserves more love and attention? Easily China, Illinois. That show is so underrated. The guy who made it, Brad Neely, made these parody webcomics and music videos about US history, and China, Illinois is kind of like an extension of it. My favorite episode is the one where they break Ronald Reagan out of prison and take him to the Crystal Castle. That way he can get the Gem of Eternal Presidency. That show is wild. I'd seriously recommend it to anyone. Go ahead and check it out. I'm going to go ahead and show a clip from it here.
Carter, I know the next clue is hidden on the back of that medallion. Now, you better give it, or you're gonna get it.
Yeah! Carpetbagger.
You're 0 for 2, Georgia. You just got 1980'd.
Legend has it that on Ben Franklin's deathbed, he birthed an egg of what is believed to be magical black quartz.
Well, what the hell do we do with it?
Okay, I've got an idea.
It's the fountain of eternal presidency.
We needed that egg to stop it from collapsing.
Witnessing an unbelievable scene. Ronald Reagan, somehow not dead, is being sworn back into office.
Maybe I should do a video on that one day. Do you have any video ideas that are too big to cover right now? The effects of Chinese censorship on American media is a big one. Everything from the fact that the MCU and Star Wars can't have prominent gay characters, to minor stuff like the fact that they had to change Taskmaster's skull mask into a night helmet because skulls are considered terrorist imagery and banned in China. There's also stuff like the fact that the production of Mulan got help from this propaganda agency that also runs concentration camps where they're torturing and killing Uyghur Muslims. I'm going to put some links to resources about that in the description down below. It's awful what's happening over there. And I feel like all that stuff needs to be talked about and people are too afraid to talk about it. But here's the breaks. I want to present this from the right angle because internationally, Asian folks are facing hate crimes and discrimination at a skyrocketing rate, and I don't want to contribute to that at all. I want to make a video criticizing the Chinese government, not the Chinese people. And if I make that video, I want to make it the right way, and I don't want to make it in a way that can get misinterpreted as like hate speech. Because those people are victims, you know? They are not their oppressors. If I make that video, I want to make it the right way in a way that can't be taken out of context by anyone. So with that in mind, it's something that I stay actively researching, and seeing as companies like Tencent fund American movies like Venom and Wonder Woman, and are also invested in American game companies, I don't think this is a topic that's going to go stale anytime soon. So I have a lot of ideas for that video, I just want to make it the right way. But on a less serious note, I also want to make a video about the quartering and the negative influence of conservative comic tubers like him, and how they kind of give the rest of ComicTube a bad name.
I can't believe you want to watch this show. You know they just did a 3-episode arc where Harley beats Penguin, Riddler, and Mr. Freeze using nothing but her Mary Sue power?
Because part of what I want to do going forward in 2020 is make sure that I consume the media that I'm critiquing. Now, that will be a change for me.
Yeah, because I'm not a 12-year-old girl. Also, dude, why would I watch a show that's set in Gotham City but Batman's barely in it?
You watched all 5 seasons of Gotham.
Because it wasn't a fucking tsunami of virtue signaling.
Extremely cringy. It's extremely woke.
But again, I want to get it right, and there are already plenty of great videos on them. I highly recommend the ones by Thought Slime and Hey It's Vadim. Depending on when this is released, what do you think of the Snyder Cut, and how do you think it'll affect the future of the DC movies? Well, if you want an answer to this, you're gonna have to wait until the other half of the Q&A at the end of the video, and I'll let you know then. How's the new videos doing? Well, let's cue the transition and find out. 2020 was a really productive year for the channel. I dropped some of my all-time favorite projects that I've ever worked on for the channel. I feel like the channel grew a lot, both in terms of the quality of the content and in terms of raw numbers. 2019 ended with the channel at a little over 900 subs, and then after a New Year's shout out from Uncle Dave, we surpassed the 1,000 sub threshold and entered the YouTube Partner Program, giving me the opportunity to make money off of ads from my videos. And what little money I did make seriously helped offset some of the production costs of everything from lights to computer parts, costumes, props, commissioning artwork and animation, so on and so forth. So considering we entered 2020 with a little over 1,000 subs, it just blows my mind that we were able to more than double that over the year to like 2,000 whatever we're at now. Probably closer to 3,000 if we're not there yet by the time I publish the video. And like, I know numbers aren't everything, and subs aren't even as good a metric as watch time or viewer retention, but it's still encouraging to see that twice as many people are enjoying your content this year comparatively to last year. But not only that, but we also launched our first ever merch with these Super Swim Team 7 stickers. No one really bought any except for a couple of friends, but I mean, I think they're cool.
No one's gonna spend $5 on one of your stickers, bro. You gotta drop that price, son.
Well, I wouldn't do this for just anybody, but for the folks watching at home. So all that was 2020, and this is the goal for 2021. I want to grow the community across different platforms and work towards bigger projects in the future. I'd also like to commission more artists to work on art and animations for the channel, and I also want to work towards hiring editors to get videos out at a faster rate. One of the main ways that members of the audience can help with this is to make sure that you like the videos and watch them through to the end. And if you leave a comment down below that's related to the video, then that really helps a lot. Like, that engagement goes a long way in terms of helping YouTubers. And while I can't ask that you do this for me specifically, I can say that in general, if you left a comment on a certain video about Spider-Man 2000, and that comment was asking someone to make a video about Spider-Man Web of Shadows, there's a possibility that the chance the Spider-Man 2000 video you commented on could show up in the recommended section of a more popular video about Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I mean, it's more likely that someone will see it, more likely someone will click on it, and that means more views. Now, I'm not asking you to do that for my channel, because that would be against terms of service, but I'm saying that if you did that for any YouTuber you liked and enjoyed, you know, it would help them out. That's all I'm saying. So with that in mind, I'm not asking you or telling you to do anything. This is not a call to action. This is just a joke and a little bit of information. I'm just telling you how the algorithm works, and what you do with that information is up to you. And by the way, just commenting random stuff doesn't help at all. But commenting and talking about stuff related to the video or topics that are related to the video really helps out a lot. But in addition to liking, commenting, or just watching the videos, when you follow across different platforms, that really helps out too. So you can check this link down below, and all my social media will be listed there. And if you really want to go the extra mile on these platforms, doing stuff like what's on this graphic really helps out on platforms like Instagram and TikTok in particular, where certain features like the bookmark actually act as kind of like a super like in terms of the algorithm. So I mean, again, do what you will with that information. I'm just letting you know how things work. I want to cue you in on the secrets, you know? But if you really want to go the extra mile, then Patreon really helps out a lot. But enough about what you can do for me. How about what I can do for you in return? Well, in order to help incentivize some folks into joining my Patreon, I've added a few goals. The first is a Spider-Man PlayStation 2 retrospective series. I'll review every Spider-Man PlayStation 2 game if I hit this tier. Spider-Man the movie, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, maybe even Spider-Man 3 or Friend or Foe if we want to count the cursed Spider-Man games for PS2. Now the next Patreon tier is a bit unconventional and would never be allowed on YouTube as it covers 18 plus subject matter, so if you're a minor, do me a favor and fuck off until the timestamp on screen, and here's another monster to incentivize you to do that. Thank you for your consideration. I'll see you soon. So the impact of lewd art on comic culture has always been fascinating to me. Artists like Bruce Timm were directly inspired by the art from old school Playboy porn comics. Amanda Connor's art has always carried a certain level of cheesecake to it, and even the male characters have a certain level of beefcake to them. And stuff like the Milo Manara Spider-Woman controversy is just fascinating to me. And artists like Sunset Rider 7 are making this much money every fucking month just to make an unofficial Justice League porn game. And spoiler alert, the art is actually really good, and the story actually adheres to canon way better than you'd ever imagine. And these are all things that I really want to talk about in a video, but I could never make a video about it on YouTube. But I could upload it to Patreon and lock it behind an age gate and a paywall, and if I reach this tier in Patreon and make this much a month, then I will make that video, because I've been outlining it for years, to be honest with you. Now here's the last patron goal. A return to some of the best comic book moments that animation has to offer. Everything from the Zeta Project to Batman Beyond, Mystery of Batwoman, I want to cover it all, and I'll never have time to do it unless I'm doing YouTube full time. So if I make this much off of Patreon, I'll pretty much be there. And while I don't think I'll hit it anytime soon, it's a long-term goal that seems doable, and it's something that I'd like to do, so you know, it's something to work towards. So since we're working towards the future, and I told you about the goals for 2021, how are we gonna do it? Well, here's the plan. So I know it's been a while since I uploaded, and while I dropped a few smaller videos in the last half year, I feel like I haven't dropped a major project upload since like September. Those are the videos that I consider to be like the real video videos, instead of what I consider to be like smaller filler videos, like the Wonder Woman review or the WandaVision podcast. So I wanted to make sure that when I came back with a bang. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I like to learn about the algorithm and how it works and how to play the game, so to speak. But the problem is that the game is rigged, and YouTube doesn't want to open the rulebook for you to learn. So if you want to win, you have to learn how to do it yourself. And learning when to upload, or how often to upload, or what tag to use is all just part of the metagame of that. So because the last two videos kind of flopped, I started working on this theory. I know that YouTube promotes based off of watch time, and when you upload multiple videos in a short span of time, your watch time goes up. So it makes more sense to upload multiple videos subsequently than to upload one video every month or so. So I decided to put all my time and effort into 5 core project videos and 1 side video. Now, the quality of the content is significant, but the way you present it to your audience and the way they engage with it is every bit as important. So if you're working on a big video and it's the only thing that's going to come out of your channel for a month or two, or it's the first video you've uploaded in a year and a half, the video is inevitably going to fail. And the reason for that is that YouTube doesn't know where to send it because your watch time is down across your general audience. And by the way, your watch time is how long someone spends watching your videos. So an hour-long video with 100 views is more valuable than a 10-minute video with 200 views. And the reason for that is that the first video has 6,000 minutes of watch time and the other has 2,000 minutes of watch time, making video 1 3 times as valuable because you can place 3 times as many ads on it. And that's why the algorithm is promoting longer videos now. So now that you know the why, here's the how. There are ways to work around and with the state of the algorithm, and I think I found a concrete game plan. My compromise is to make videos in batches. If it takes me a month to make a video and I upload 1 video every other week, then I can upload 2 months of videos, meaning 4 uploads, and then have 2 months to work on the next 2, which should give me 6 subsequent uploads over 3 months, helping me out in terms of the YouTube algorithm because the uploads are coming consecutively. Now, am I making sense, or is this sounding like Charlie Mumbo Jumbo?
What the hell are you talking about? Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
Now keep in mind, this is all conjecture and theory. None of this has much basis in actual research. It's all just me guessing and poking at the algorithm, all based off of anecdotal evidence that's been passed to me through the grapevine. So do your own research before you attempt to replicate any of these experiments.
Oh, is that what you call it?
So the plan goes like this. The first video back is going to be a channel update. I'm not thinking many people will watch it, but I think the people that will probably watch it all the way through. Then the video after that is going to be a little bit different from my normal uploads. This one's going to be a one-off video where I unbox Marvel Legends, and originally this was going to be a video just about Marvel Legends in general, but then that turned into the Marvel Toys video from last year, and I had already bought a bunch of Legends for the video by the time that happened, and ended up not needing them. So naturally, instead of cutting my losses, I doubled down and bought even more, then decided to make a Mr. Beast style unboxing video mixed with some advice about collecting on a budget. It wasn't supposed to be an unboxing video, but it just kind of ended up that way, and I thought it would be an okay way to grow the channel. Then after that is going to come the TikTok cosplay cringe reaction video. Now this is something that started as a lazy reaction video, and then it turned into a passion project, because I just wanted to make fun of these dumb cosplayers that I kept seeing on Twitter, but then I ended up falling in love with the platform of TikTok instead. So it turned from laugh at the cringy cosplayers to these guys are problematic, here's why they're a bad influence, here's how we fight that with better content. And the reason for that is that I kind of decided to start making TikTok content myself. And it's not that I plan on leaving YouTube, it's just that I can make simpler videos on simpler subjects. And whereas it can take me a month and a half to 6 months to edit a YouTube video, I can do a TikTok in about an hour and a half. From writing it, to editing it, to uploading it. Like this one. You might have seen WandaVision, which is at least partially inspired by Tom King's Vision, and I've wanted to talk about this comic for a long time. So the premise is that Vision becomes disillusioned and traumatized by the world of superheroes, then wipes his memory so he can start over fresh. And in doing so, he tries to ground himself in normality by creating his own robot Frankenfamily. The members of his family know they aren't normal, but they also have this dark suspicion that there's something more to their mortality than the Vision is letting on. The book deals with subjects like race, privilege, heartbreak, living in a loveless marriage, and even some darker topics like the consequences of resurrection. And then there's this one page that's always stuck with me. When not with family, she spent most days sitting on the living room couch exploring the corners of her preloaded memory. She was fascinated by how often she found something that made her cry. I don't know why, but that page has always hit me like a load of bricks. Check out Tom King's Vision, everybody. So, yeah, just be sure to follow me on my TikTok, I guess. Not sure how my audience is gonna receive the video, but it seems clickbaity enough to bring in new viewers, so here's hoping it serves that purpose and it doesn't piss off too many people, because it's more comical than cringe, and I don't think I'm that funny, but maybe you'll think different. But it's the 2 uploads after that I think are the real bread and butter of this upload cycle. My Rusty Cage video is one that I'm really proud of. I love YouTube history, and I love indie comics, and this video mixes both in a way that really suits the channel well, and I can't wait to share it with y'all. And here's where we round off the last of the first 4. Weird Lore Twin Peaks. I worry this video won't get many clicks from my core audience, which is why I'm really relying on the YouTube algorithm to push it to people that aren't watching my channel. So that's why I put this video last, so that if each subsequent upload gets more and more views, then theoretically, YouTube is going to view this in a really good light, and it's going to push it to even more people who aren't subbed than any other, which is good, because it would have shown it to less people if I had uploaded it first. I hope that makes sense. So in the 2 months between the first video dropping and the Twin Peaks video coming out, I'll be making a video on Silver Surfer, and if I have time, I'll make another video on the Incredible Hulk animated series. So if I do that, then we'll have 3 months of consecutive uploads. And hopefully that'll be a seed that helps us grow for the rest of the year. If we doubled our numbers in 2020, then maybe we can do the same again this year. But even if we can't, I'm still thankful for everyone that sticks around for the ride anyway. So with my Alex Jones conspiracy theory rant about the algorithm over, let's go ahead and switch back to the rest of that Q&A.